What's up, y'all, man? I want to talk about Kyler Murray, the number one draft pick for the Arizona Cardinals. You know, it's a lot of people having a lot of opinions on Kyler Murray. I seen him a little bit in college. He's not your prototypical quarterback with, tall, 6'4", 6'5", big arm, things of that nature, 225, 230. He's more like what, 5'10", maybe 200 pounds. You know what I'm saying? Somewhere up in there. And he has a big arm for his size, and he can run. He's kind of like that Michael Vick. That straight line speed, that kind of like that. In that prototype, and everyone is saying he's going to be this, he's going to be that. Greg Jennings, who played for Green Bay, wide receiver for the Green Bay Packers, had that big game in the Super Bowl, but he's on Undisputed a lot, especially during the football season. Undisputed, Speak for Yourself, and those shows on Fox. And he said that he thinks Kyler Murray is going to be a generational talent. Now, him and Rob Parker go back and forth. Rob Parker say, I don't think he's going to be a generational talent. In his preseason game yesterday, I guess he struggled a little bit. They were having talks about it. And my take is this: when you say a generational talent, now, especially in football, because let me backtrack to basketball. In basketball, when you say generational talent, it's like you saying LeBron James, Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Bill Russell. These guys got off the ground running. Now, basketball, and football, two different sports. In basketball, one player can impact a game. You know what I'm saying? A team quicker than football, because in basketball only 5 people is on the court at one time. In football, there's 11 guys on the football field at once, and usually 100% now, since in football they don't do it no more, where guys play defense and offense. In basketball, those guys can impact, you know what I'm saying, the court on both sides of the ball, you know what I'm saying, on defense and offense, because you stay on the court at all times in both possessions. But in football, it's not just that he Kyler Murray, I'm not going to say he cannot be a generational talent, but it's harder to kind of quantify him as being a generational talent, because in football, for one play, this is just for one play, your team has to be in unison just to get one play off. The offensive line, in concert with the receivers and the quarterback and the tight end and the running back, they all have to come off the ball at the same time, at the same exact time. If you don't, you get penalized. That's 5 yards. That's not like basketball. They don't have to come off, you know what I'm saying? They don't have to start and stop at the same, start at the same time to get a playoff. In football, that's the case. And, Rob Parker was making some great points. He said that he don't think Kyler Murray is going to be a generational talent. He said, first of all, he's not real sold on Kyler Murray. And he said the team that he's surrounded around, the team that the Cardinals, is not that good. The offensive line is not that good. And that's a quarterback's best friend next to the running back. You know what I'm saying? Especially a young quarterback. His offensive line in the running game helps buffer his growth, as being able to grow into being the player that he needs to be. That's the buffer. You know what I'm saying? A couple years of playing behind a great offensive line and a really good running game, and him not having to shoulder the burden on his shoulders, where he have to throw 30 or 40 times a game and throw for 300 yards and 3 or 4 touchdowns a game. That burden is not on his shoulders, because he has that offensive line that can help the running game, and he can make plays here and there when he needs them, you know what I'm saying, but he doesn't have the whole shoulder load. Kyler Murray is coming to the Cardinals as a quote-unquote savior. The fans are looking at him as a savior. And when a quarterback is, I don't care what nobody's saying, when a quarterback is being picked number one, if any player is being picked number one, especially a quarterback in professional sports, people expect them to get off the ground running. You know what I'm saying? I seen it with Tim Couch. I seen it with David Carr. You know what I'm saying? I seen it with other quarterbacks that have came in and what's that dude named Russell that got drafted by the Raiders #1. And I seen these guys not go to really good teams, and these quarterbacks take these sacks. You know what I'm saying? Early getting hit a lot. Then they become gun shy, and you know what I'm saying. They become the growth is stunted, and a lot of times they don't become what you think they're going to become because of the beating they're going to take. Look at Andrew Luck from the Colts. You know what I'm saying? His first couple years, he was sacked a lot. You know what I'm saying? Now, and he was hurt. You know what I'm saying? Hurt his shoulder and all this stuff. Look at Deshaun Watson up in the Houston Texans. Sacked a lot. Hurt a lot. You know what I'm saying? Missing games. Wear and tear on the body. And same thing with Kyler Murray. Now, he's not even as big as those guys. Those guys like 6'2", 6'5", 6'2" in Deshaun Watson case. I think Deshaun Watson like 6'2", 6'3". I believe Andrew Luck is like 6'5". You know, Tim Couch was a big quarterback, 6'4". David Carr was 6'3", and these guys were like over 200 pounds and big stature guys. Kyler Murray is not that. He's a smaller guy. He actually got drafted in baseball. You know what I'm saying? So he's a smaller guy. Around about 5'10". Not as big as he's not even as big as Drew Brees. Shoot, he's not even as big as Russell Wilson. I believe Russell Wilson goes like 5'11", something like that. Russell Wilson is a thick guy though. He's like real thick. You know what I'm saying? So his height, you know, he may be short in stature and height, but he's a thick guy, and he can take the hits better. But a guy like Kyler Murray, you have to have an offensive line in place that can protect this kid, man. In order for him to be successful, yes, you can move the pocket. You can move the pocket to the outside. You know, have him throw outside the pocket, but eventually, these guys are so fast. These defensive ends are so fast. These linebackers are so fast. He's going to get tracked down. He's going to get hit. You know what I'm saying? I heard Skip Bayless say he never seen a quarterback avoid big hits, but he's not going to be able to avoid all of them. You know what I'm saying? All it'll take is one or two big hits, and he can be hurt for a while. You know what I'm saying? So he's not going to avoid all the big hits. I don't care how quick, how fast, how elusive he is. Michael Vick was quick, fast, and elusive. He got hit hard a lot, and as Michael Vick's career went on, it showed through you know what I'm saying, 3, 4, 5, 6 years into his career, that all those the sustained hits that he took, it was a toll on Michael Vick's body. You know what I'm saying? And Michael Vick was not a really big guy, but Michael Vick was bigger, taller, and bigger than Kyler Murray. And like I said, man, it's just so much. Football is the ultimate team game. Let me say it again. Football is the ultimate team game. When I tell you, everybody know that watch football. When one guy's offsides, it blows up the whole play. I don't care if it was 1 out of 10. It blows up the whole play. Kansas City could have went to the Super Bowl last year. The guy jumped off sides. You know what I'm saying? One guy jumped off sides, and y'all remember when Tom Brady threw that interception, but that defensive player was off sides, and guess what? The play was called back. The Patriots got another chance. Patriots cashed in. They won the game. It's like that. Football is the ultimate team game. Kyler Murray, I don't care if you think he's a generational talent. He has to have the team around him to help him become that generational talent, to help that talent come out. Because if that talent is not able to come out, he's not going to be a generational player. You know what I'm saying? Despite all the skill set you see, he's going to be running for his life this year because of the fact that he don't have the offensive line. Now, they have a pretty good running game with that Johnson guy. Larry Fitzgerald is up there in age. Larry Fitzgerald is not the same as he used to be 3, 4, 5, 6 years ago. Everybody knows that. They have a nice receiver that they drafted, but they don't have a whole lot of talent around the guy. And what teams are going to do is they're going to corral, stop the run, put 8 men in the box, and they're going to force Kyler Murray to beat him with throwing the football. That's what they're going to do. And it's going to lead to sacks. It's going to lead to interceptions. Now, I'm hoping the best for the kid. I'm hoping that he can come out and light the league on fire, but I just don't see it, man. Michael Vick to me, Michael Vick was the closest to lighting the league on fire in his first year. And he struggled a lot. You know what I'm saying? So it's not just that you see a generational, and people saying the same thing about Michael Vick. You know what I'm saying? Generation talent, this and that, this and that. But the team wasn't that good around him in his first couple years. You know what I'm saying? That team was all right. I think it was a little bit better than the Cardinals, but it wasn't that much better. And he ran for his life, and it took a little while for them to get, you know what I'm saying, that team off and running. But in the Cardinals case, what they should have did when they drafted Kyler Murray, I think they did draft an offensive lineman. The next couple years should be offensive lineman, the top of the draft, because they're going to be at the top of the draft the next couple years. Because I see them winning anywhere between 3 and 4 games. So once again, they probably going to have the worst record in the league. They need to go offensive line the next couple years to put some offensive line around this kid. It took the Colts a while before they put offensive linemen around Andrew Luck, and they did it too late. The man got hurt. Now the man is hurt. He's hurt again. You know what I'm saying? He got I think he got like a knee problem or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But this all comes from the hits he was taking for the first couple years. Like all the hits he was taking. You know what I'm saying? And it's just accumulated. It's accumulation. Then you start being hurt a lot. And you don't want this for this young kid, Kyler Murray. You want him to be the ideal thing. What they should have did was, I don't think they should have started him right away. Bring in the veteran, let the veteran play for the first year, let Kyler Murray sit. Even if you let him sit for most of the season, let him sit, let him learn, let him hold the clipboard, let him learn behind a quarterback, a seasoned veteran quarterback that's been around the league for a little while, that understands how to navigate around the league and how to, I'm not saying Kyler Murray can't read the playbook, but, read the playbook, go out there, practice well, his practice habits, and let Kyler Murray do that. Because just by throwing him in like that, just like that, I mean, confidence is everything. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you're young. Yes, he was the man in college, but this is a whole new ball game. He's in the NFL, and you don't want this kid his confidence to start dwelling. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes confidence is hard to get back, man. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I'm not saying he gonna lose his confidence, but it's potential that he can lose his confidence by not performing. And then you're gonna start hearing, you know what I'm saying? You got social media, and these kids nowadays, they in Kyler Murray age group, they are always on social media. They soak up social media, and you're gonna have people saying he's a buzz, he's this, because people don't give players enough time to grow. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm 42 years old, so I've been looking at football for a little while, since the 80s. You know what I'm saying? And I remember when quarterbacks got drafted, they let some of these quarterbacks didn't even play for a couple years. I remember Aaron Rodgers. Y'all remember, as recent as Aaron Rodgers, he didn't play for his first 2 years. Aaron Rodgers sat behind Brett Favre. Now, you can say, well, they had Brett Favre. That was easy for them to sit him. Yeah, but it helped Aaron Rodgers. They had to fix his mechanics on his throwing. And when Brett Favre left, Aaron Rodgers was ready to take over. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be a tough year for Kyler Murray. It's just going to be a tough year, man. Hopefully, they can establish a really good running game. But see, they brought in an offensive court coach for their head coach, and he's gonna want to prove that he can run his system. I guess the coach came from college, so he's gonna try to prove that he can run his system in the NFL. And you know what I'm saying? If he don't tweak that system somewhat to try to get a running game going, so this kid can have a chance of having, a chance to complete shorter passes instead of third and long, second and long, it's gonna be a long year for that kid. But let me know what y'all think, man. It's too early for me to say if he's gonna be a generational talent. Because I seen Michael Vick, I seen the Randall Cunninghams, the guys that had big arms and they can run. You know what I'm saying? That are elusive. I seen that stuff, but other things have to come into play. That the rest of that team has to be in unison, especially on the offensive side of the ball. He has to have weapons on the outside. He has to have, I believe they got a decent running back. He has to have the offensive line play up front. Those 5 guys up front, he has to, especially the left tackle, the right tackle. They have to be able to in the pressure that's going to be come up through the middle. They have to have guys up there that can protect this kid, or he's not going to have the success that Greg Jennings and other people expect him to have. And it won't be all because they're wrong about him being a generational talent. It's going to be because some of it going to be half of it going to be. I don't think he's a generational talent. I don't see generational talent, but if they do see generational talent, half of it's going to be because he doesn't have the team around him, and that's just the nature of football, man. You gotta have everybody got to be working in unison. It's the ultimate team game. But let me know what y'all think, man. I'm out.